On June 29th, Saturn will station retrograde into the sign of Pisces until November 15th, 2024. Saturn has been in the sign of Pisces since February 2023, so this isn't new energy that we're all experiencing, just is in retrograde. Yay. So when Saturn is in each sign, it'll stay there for about 2.5 years, and when it retrogrades, it will be stationed retrograde for 4 to 4.5 months. But yeah, retrogrades, they're all about revisiting, reviewing, and revising. Let's talk about it. Welcome back. My name is Brianne, the Astro Yogini, and here we take a moment to understand the astrological transits, to then take it over to the mat and apply it. And this is just a great way to work with the energies provided, even if it is possibly being fear-mongered at this time. I don't know, not really, but this is just a really great way to appreciate all the astrological transits and the energy provided. Saturn is the planet of tangible world. It gives us the foundation to build a healthy life. The element is earth, and its qualities consist of cold, dry, and yin. It's important. Pisces, its energy is more on the feminine aspect of things. It is a duality sign, mutable, and water sign. The key words that really pop up here is receptive, intuitive, emotional, imaginative, romantic, impressionable, and mystical, adaptable, and even changeable. So that's fun. With Saturn being in the sign of Pisces, this is quite restrictive, because that's what Saturn is. It's restrictive. It makes us be realistic. And Pisces is very much dreamy energy, right? And so this transit is asking us to be realistic about our dreams, our goals, and how we're going to get there. And depending on where this transit is happening in your own personal chart, it'll be which house rules or is Pisces. So check that out. This is the area that the Saturn retrograde could be affecting you. Saturn is restrictive, yes, but it is also realistic. Saturn is a malefic planet, but to have it in the sign of Pisces is interesting, to say the least. Pisces is a very interesting sign. I always say this about Pisces placements, but they feel everything, and it is intense for them, and to the point where they have a stigma of trying to block that out via the use of some sort of addictive, alcohol, drugs, or even addictive relationships. Pisces is also about hidden depths, the shifting emotional currents, feels everything, extremes of temperaments, and so it's just a lot, which I like the fact that it is in Saturn, because it's asking us to be realistic, and something I've already said. But for those of us who have a Saturn ruled chart, we get it. We understand this type of energy. And for those of you who are maybe even struggling with this, some good things to take away from this is self-help and self-love, and it's just a great time to check in with yourself. And this is asking us to be honest with ourselves, and if we're not, that's when Saturn energy is gonna come in and kick you on your butt, and it's not fun. Some things that might be beneficial to implement during this retrograde is keeping a dream journal. Pisces is all very much dreamy. It's also 12th house things-esque. It's hidden enemies. It is mystic. It is the house of self-undoing. So it's gonna be an interesting time, especially for those who have heavy Pisces placements. I don't really see this transit affecting those who have a heavy Saturn placement in their birth chart, just because I think we're just kind of used to it. is our daily life. Like, what do you mean you don't have structure? That's the mentality that it's giving me anyway. For this yoga practice, I chose to go with Yin Asana because of the planet Saturn. And Saturn is a feminine energy as well. It is Yin energy. It is cold. It is slow moving. And I really like that aspect of applying it with Pisces. And Pisces generally does really well with like a guided meditation asana, but I just really want to put an emphasis on Saturn, energetically speaking, because with Pisces being the house of self-undoing, this is a great opportunity to be an observer of your own thoughts and to understand and meet oneself on the mat and be there for oneself when these emotions arise, which, you know, Yin does. It is about releasing stored emotions, stored trauma in the body, and that can be very heavy. And so mostly I just wanted to prepare you for that. I also encourage you to journal about your experience after doing the Yin Asana, just because this can be a very enlightening time. It's a great opportunity to heal, because that's what Saturn asks us to do. It asks us to figure out where in your own foundation is unstable and fix it. And to be able to do that through yoga, through a somatic workout, is amazing. And honestly, I'm honored to be a part of this process with you guys. So it's just a really beautiful time. I've had so many good experiences surrounding Yin yoga, even regular yoga. It's very helpful and very healing and very magical in itself. I mean, it is considered an esoteric practice, and so is astrology. And so I am very, very grateful to be able to combine those two and be able to work something up. And I've always said that, if these videos don't kick off or whatever, go viral, that at least there'd be free yoga practices out there for others to take advantage of. And so that makes me really, really happy. Anyway, off my high horse, I wanted to get back into the astrological anatomy of the sign of Pisces. Pisces rules body fluids and lymphatic system, and it also rules feet. I just wanted to combine the Yin practice with that. So there's an emphasis on draining of the lymphatic system. Just being upside down is really, really great for you, because the lymphatic system, it doesn't have its own circulatory system. So going upside down for even a couple of minutes a day is really, really great for your health. And in Yin, we are holding poses for about 2 minutes to 3 minutes maybe, and this is done on purpose. This cuts the circulation off to that general area, and it can be intense. So definitely check in with yourself and just stay connected with your breath and be there in the moment, and understand that you are never stuck in one pose. This is something you can back out of and then continue on later. You are doing the best with what you have, right? That's always an important concept to keep in mind. So anyway, Yin, we cut the circulation off, and then once we release, we'll do what is called a rebound pose, where we're just allowing for that blood flow to circulate back in, and that just helps promote healing to that area. So it's, you gotta love it. Yoga, it's a beautiful somatic exercise and a perfect opportunity to heal, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. It really puts an emphasis on mind-body connection, and I'm really excited about this practice for you all today. So comment down below where you'll be seeing this transit in your own personal birth chart, and how you are planning to see this play out in your own personal life. And if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. This just allows you so you don't miss any yoga transits. Welcome back, everyone. For today's yin practice, we will begin with child's pose. I do have my strap close to me as well as a blanket for support. If you feel like you would like those items, go ahead and pause and grab them and come back, and I'll be here. For wide-legged child's pose, big toes touch, knees are to the outer edge of your mat, and you'll just begin to press back. Inhaling and exhaling, press into the palm of your hands to shift back even further. We will be holding for time. So remember that you are never stuck in one pose. If this becomes too intense, please remember to come out and find either a resting position of your choice, or you can always rejoin me. Remember to stay connected with the breath. Inhale, and then exhale to soften into the pose. We have about 10 more breaths here, so go ahead and find a new edge, maybe by pressing into the palm of the hands to shift the hips back further. On your next inhale, go ahead and begin to walk the hands in towards you. Keeping the right hand on the mat, inhale, lengthen that left arm. And exhale, go ahead and come into a needle, thread the needle. Press that right hand into the mat. Check back in with oneself. See if you are transferring tension and work to release that on each exhale. Inhale and exhale to soften and release and surrender. We have about 5 more breaths here. Press up into that right hand as you just come back into almost tabletop position. Maybe just allow that shoulder to dangle, letting the blood flow return to that area. This allows for a natural rebound of the body, just promotes healing, and overall really, really good for you. Coming back to that wide leg child's pose. Plant the left hand down. Inhale. The right hand reaches up towards the sky. And exhale, thread that needle. Bend the shoulder. Rest the temple to your mat. You press back. Pressing into the palm of your hand. Keep both sits bones down. Checking in with the face, making sure the brow is not furrowed. Parting the back teeth. Go now. Naughty dog. Remembering to breathe fully. Now 10 more breaths. Go ahead and find a new edge. Maybe shift back further. You're going to press into that left hand as you walk up. Come into tabletop and just allow for that right arm to dangle and the blood flow return. Maybe just showing some care to the wrists. Move into simple seated. From here, the right knee will be bent at a 90-degree. Right foot is flexed. Bring that left leg on top. The left ankle is directly above the right knee. Joint never on the knee joint. And we will begin to walk forward. And rounding up the mid back. These poses are intense, so always check in with yourself. Make sure you're remaining connected to your breath. And make sure you are not transferring that tension elsewhere. We have about 10 more breaths. We find a new edge, rounding further. Begin to lift up nice and slow, unraveling the legs, planting both feet on the ground. Let's take a couple of windshield wipers. During these holds, we are cutting off the circulation to a particular area, and so once we release out of that pose, a flow of blood supply rushes to that area, and it just promotes healing. Just massage out the glutes. Coming back to simple seat, we'll switch out legs. Left leg on the bottom, left ankle is flexed, left foot is flexed. Bring that right ankle directly above the left knee and begin to lower down. Noticing the differences on sides. Maybe one side is tighter than the other. Being an observer of your own thoughts. And about 10 more breaths. Begin to press up into both hands. Unraveling the legs, and taking a couple of windshield wipers, just letting that blood flow to return. Coming back to simple seated, and we'll move to through tabletop for our next one, which is the twisted sphinx. And here we'll move through just like we would for pigeon pose, curling the back toes, pressing back into downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up, exhale, round the spine, shin to wrist, and begin to walk the back leg down the mat as you press that leg out straighter. As you come into twisted sphinx. If the pose is too intense, you can always begin to bend the extended leg. 5 more breaths. Come out of this. Press both palm of the hands up and just begin to open up and turn to come onto your back. And we'll take a couple of happy babies here. Extending one leg at a time out. Releasing both legs. And just begin to rock up. Cross over through tabletop position. And we'll go through the other side. Moving through tabletop, curl the back toes and rise up into downward facing dog. Lift that right leg. Exhale around the spine. Begin to draw the shin towards the wrist. Walk that back foot down the mat as you begin to straighten and open up on that right side. And begin to lower yourself down. Remaining connected to the breath, remembering to breathe. Ten more breaths. Press both hands into the mat to lift up and begin to turn nice and slowly. And coming to your back. And taking a couple of happy babies by grabbing at the outer edge of your foot. Press and draw the knees down. Smooth rock side to side. Go ahead and release. Next, we will take our straps and place the strap directly on the ball of the foot and just come in for our last pose today. Feet up the wall. If you have a wall accessible to you, or a strap or a towel. 10 more breaths here, my friends. Begin to slowly release one foot at a time. Extend each leg down the mat. Inhale, reaching the arms above. And exhale to release fully into your mat. It is always a pleasure to guide you through your practice. And I hope you all will reap the rewards of Saturn in retrograde. Namaste.